Okay, well, you know, through MDT and you know, through the work of Robin McKenzie, we all know that too much slouching and too much bending, the frequency of flexion during the day is the most common reason people say low back pain, right? And guess what's happening in our society now, right? Kids are going to school younger and younger and younger. Babies, as soon as we bring them home from the hospital, we put them in the car seat, right? The babies fall asleep in the car seat. So they're in a slouched position, which, you know, you generally start with anyways, but babies aren't even designed to be in a sitting slouched posture all day long. We put little Nike tennis shoes on day one before they leave the hospital because we want to show them off. And so they're not getting the input through their feet that they need to get, right? Because we block that with the rubber soles. So it starts there. And then the kids are going to school. We force them to sit in chairs. We get them off the floor. Back to the babies, you know, if they're not walking by 8 months, we're encouraging them to walk, or we put them in the jumpers that make them walk. So we're forcing them to skip some of these developmental patterns that they need to go through to own this innate security pattern that we all have or should have, right? Now, when it comes to the athletes, yes, they're doing the same thing. They came home from the hospital in the same way. They went to the same schools that we all went to, but they also went to the gym. So what's happening in the gym, and this has been happening throughout my lifetime, I've been lifting weights since high school, is really the weight training hasn't changed since high school. But what it does is it encourages what we call reverse movement. Right? So it trains reverse movement patterns. When a human being moves forward through space, 99% of the time, right? We move forward. We don't need the backwards movement. So when athletes are in these forward locomotive sports, football, basketball, tennis, swimming, yeah, I mean, the list goes on and on. I know I'm leaving them out. And what we're doing is training reverse movement patterns. They're trying to use these patterns to move forward in space. So something has to give. And it generally does. So if we have 500,000 ACL injuries a year, something's wrong. If we watch a football game every weekend and you see an ACL shred or an Achilles rupture in a game, something's wrong. So Gilly, in his brilliance, actually scraped these injuries, right? And we know that you can't trust the naked eye so much. When I started going to football games, if the ref called a bad call, it was too bad. There was no way. You just had to say what the ref did. But now we have slow motion video, and they go back into the booth and replay it. And then suddenly the ref can see that blatantly bad call and they can reverse it, right? Well, the same thing goes with motion. There's stuff that we miss, but the video never lies, right? So we use slow motion video in our assessments. And I challenge everybody to do this in their McKenzie assessment, especially the movement assessment, because I promise you, you're missing some things that you thought you saw that you didn't see.